Today on OC News, chaos at a local high school after another student threatens to go on a shooting spree.
Also, hundreds of students in Florida gather outside their state capital. We will bring you their emotional pleas.
And President Trump is once again under fire. What did he say now? Should he be worried? All this and more coming up now on OC News. Welcome to OC News. I'm Tyra Majors.
And I'm Nicole King. OC News is brought to you by the broadcast journalism students at Cal State Fullerton.
We begin with breaking news. A 17-year-old boy threatened to bring a gun to El Camino High School in Whittier last Friday. A school security guard overheard the student saying he was going to launch an attack in 3 weeks. Police were notified immediately after the incident and searched the boy's home, where they found multiple guns and ammunition. He was arrested and the investigation is still ongoing.
Our reporter Emma Perla takes us inside the moments of chaos that the Parkland, Florida students went through.
It's happened again, and this time on Valentine's Day, when an ex-student of Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School opened fire.
Oh my God!
The attack was committed with an assault rifle which was bought legally. The result, 14 students and 3 faculty members dead. Innocent lives taken again. 2 months into 2018 and there have been 18 incidents with guns across American schools.
Whatever we can do to ease your pain.
President Trump sent his prayers to the victims and their families and touched the subject of mental health issues. Never did he mention the issue of gun control, which infuriated the students and the parents of the victims involved.
The gunman, a crazy person, just walks right into the school, knocks down the window of my child's door, and starts shooting her, and killing her. President Trump, you say, what can you do? You can stop the guns from getting into these children's hands. This is not fair to our families, that our children go to school and have to get killed.
The students of the high school have made it clear that they will not let this incident be forgotten like the others before them. They want action, not prayers. Survivor Emma Gonzalez shocked the nation with her words.
If the president wants to come up to me and tell me to my face that it was a terrible tragedy and how it should never have happened and maintain telling us how nothing is going to be done about it, I'm going to happily ask him how much money he received from the National Rifle Association. Who is taking donations from the NRA, shame on you.
In February of last year, Trump repealed a President Obama-era regulation that made it harder for mentally ill people to legally purchase guns. The surviving students of the massacre will lead a nationwide march protesting guns called the March of Our Lives in Washington, D.C. next month. The Florida shooting survivors have started gun protests nationwide. They are prepared to do whatever it takes to make a change. Reporting live for OC News in Fullerton, I'm Emma Perla. Back to you at the studio.
The Second Amendment, I believe, was for defense, and I fully respect that, but these are not weapons of defense, these are weapons of war. These are the powerful words spoken by one of the Parkland High School shooting victims in a meeting at the White House with President Trump. Since the mass shooting, which occurred on Valentine's Day, taking the lives of 17 people, the movement for change in gun reform has been strong. Students held rallies at the school, and even 17 laid down in protest in front of the White House to represent those 17 lives lost. Other fellow students from Parkland High School and their families called for a meeting with legislators in Tallahassee, Florida. Alfonso Calderon, a 16-year-old junior, said that he was left feeling that he and his classmates were, quote, not being taken seriously enough, but that they will not be silenced, end quote. In the wake of the high school shooting in Parkland, Florida, many have been inspired by the bravery of the students speaking up, calling for action in gun reform. Survivors of the Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School formed the, quote, March for Lives movement. The group is planning a rally in Washington, D.C. on March 24th to demand a bill that address a gun issue. Several celebrities, including George Namal Clooney, Oprah, Steven Spielberg, and Kate Capshaw, have been making sizable donations to the organization. Oprah released a tweet stating that she will match George Clooney and Amal's donation of $500,000.
President Trump is being accused of sexual assault once again. The woman is Rachel Crooks, and she claims that he forcibly kissed her when she worked at Trump Tower back in 2006.
In 2006, as a young receptionist in Trump Tower, I saw Mr. Trump quite often outside the residential elevator bank outside of Bayrock Group, the company I worked for. And on one occasion when I introduced myself to him, he kissed me repeatedly on my cheeks and ultimately on my lips, which was totally shocking and inappropriate.
The president quickly took to Twitter saying that the kiss never happened and called it fake news. Rachel Crooks is one of 19 women who has accused Donald Trump of sexual misconduct. Coming up next, the details on CSUF's new Recourse Center's grand opening.
And later, our reporter Zach will tell us what to expect for this week's weather.
Get strawberries? Okay.
Last month, we heard of the shocking details of the 13th Turban children held captive by their own parents in their home. But a special foundation in Corona and people from all over the world are showing their pouring support, showing the children that they are not alone. To our reporter, Jessica Cardenas, please tell us more.
The disturbing revelations of the 13 abused Turpan children at the hands of their own parents shocked the world. But the Corona Chamber Foundation and the Riverside community have turned this heartbreaking horror into something positive.
The marvelous 13, the children that have been impacted, that have actually changed many of our lives.
The Magnificent 13, as the Corona Chamber refers to the siblings, have received pouring support from across the nation and the world.
Foundation and Bobby especially, we've been stepping up and just to helping the kids, and that's all it's about. Really is a focus on helping the kids or the adults.
Donations, gifts, clothing, and products delivered here every single day.
I think that this is a great testament that America really cares about children and people all over the world. And when something's wrong with somebody in this community, we help take care of them.
And the Corona Foundation created the second restaurant fundraiser to support the siblings.
It's just a blessing that we, as a chamber and as a foundation, as a community, have been able to kind of been there just to kind of spearhead and do our little part.
The chamber has been a central point of communication with the two hospitals taking care of the siblings.
We live in America. This should never happen. Not in our backyard, not in Paris, California, not in Riverside County.
And the chamber is setting up a trust fund for the Magnificent 13.
This will be long term. These kids have a complete life ahead of them. Hopefully it will be magnificent.
And if you would like to support the children, you can visit mychamber.org to make donations to their trust fund. Jessica Cardenas for OC News.
And thanks to the Corona Chamber, the children will be taken for care for many years.
There are less than 2 months left before the tax filing deadline, a confusing process for many. Our reporter Terry Gaines interviews a tax volunteer on campus to find out what resources are available to students.
The beginning of the year marks the start of tax season, a meticulous but necessary process for most Americans. While requirements for tax filing vary depending on age and income, Those not obligated to file can still do so and receive funds taken from the previous year's earnings. Not filing for a tax return is a common occurrence, with the IRS reporting $1 billion in unclaimed refunds from 2013. Cal State Fullerton's Volunteer Income Tax Assistance Program, also known as VITA, offers free tax preparation by IRS-certified helpers. I spoke with VITA volunteer Sherilyn Garland to get more information.
We help everyone in the community whose income is, there's a limit to the income, so it's low income. And here in Orange County, it's $60,000 is the limit, maximum limit. So anyone who wants to come here, we're open Friday and Saturday, and we do their taxes.
According to Garland, now is the time to stop by, as more filers come as the April 20th deadline approaches.
Normally, when it comes to March and April, then we get a lot of people. Usually, I've had one time last year, we went home 9 o'clock when we're supposed to end by 5 o'clock.
International students frequently stop by the office, which Garland says sets VITA apart.
We also are the only site that do foreign students. So we get a lot of them and from different schools. They come here because they know it's the only site here in Orange County that does foreign students.
With private information being handled, precautions have been put in place to protect taxpayers on campus.
If you look at the other room, there's like spaces. No one should be able to see your information, so we're particular about that. We cannot use private laptops. We have to use the desktop.
Don't forget your photo ID, Social Security card, W-2 form, and any related documents to last year's income. The program ends April 14th. I'm Terry Gaines with OC News.
The Tuffy's Basic Needs Center opened last week and is designed to serve students with proper resources to become successful and finish their education. Shannon McKercher is live at the scene with more details. Shannon?
I was here earlier today in front of the center talking to a student who really benefited from the services here. Let's take a look. Basic Needs Center opened February 14th at McCarthy Hall. It's for students who are struggling with food and home insecurities can come here, put their campus-wide in, and get things like shampoo, soap, toothpaste, and much more. Make sure you come in here, you grab a bag, you take one of each, whatever you need. We also have in here, if you follow me this way, clothes for grad school applications or even job interviews, professional clothing. The Tuffy Titan Resource Center is useful for all students, graduate and international.
So if we get these stuffs, we can reduce our cost of living over here. So this kind of thing is very important to us. I am taking razors and soap, shampoos, conditioners, etc.
460,000 students in the CSUF system suffer from unstable housing conditions. Centers like this help students get the tools they need to be successful in finishing school. If you guys would like to donate or find out more about their services, you can visit the website at www.fullerton.edu/Tuffy'sBasicNeeds or call the number 657-278-3211. I'm Shannon McKercher with OC News. That's all I have. Back to you guys in the studio.
It's been a bit cold lately here in Orange County. Let's check in with Zach Slopemaker with the weather forecast to see if it's going to be warming up anytime soon. Zach?
Unfortunately, Tyra, it's not going to be warming up anytime soon. I'm sorry to break the news for you, but the sun's been deceiving both you and I lately. It comes out, it's nice and shiny, but unfortunately no warmth is coming out of it. Let's go ahead and look at today's forecast. We can see that the temperature is at 58 degrees, which is a little bit chilly, but it's going to get even worse as we come into the lower hours of the morning at 43 degrees, wind at 11 miles an hour, and humidity at 39%. Now, on my way here, there was a little bit of sprinkling. There's going to continue to be kind of sprinkling throughout the OC, so keep that in mind and make sure you layer up as you go to sleep tonight. Now, speaking about the sun sort of deceiving us, let's go into the 5-day to see kind of how it looks. You're going to see here that Thursday is going to have us at 61, 63 on Friday, 64. Moving over to the other side, you're going to see that the most hot day that we're going to have is 72 on Sunday. So if you are planning to go out to the beach, 72 on Sunday is going to be your best bet. Personally, for me, it's a little bit too cold at the beach. The water's freezing enough. But switching over to a bit more serious news, we have had an issue here for the winter storm Oliver that's happening in Texas, Michigan, and Illinois, and it's just causing havoc. As you can see, the storm cell here that's been occurring here in the green has been wreaking havoc for the Midwest. What happens usually with storms is it heats up as well as cool down, so a lot of the melting occurred because of the ice and snow. We've had trains derailing in Texas, and of course right now we do have a death toll of 2 people, which is unfortunate because one of them is a 1-year-old little girl. Now moving to a little bit lighter news, we have Big Bear that because of a nice little low pressure system moved in, got its 4 inches of snow. So if you're a fan of skiing, snowboarding, or sledding, take your family up, enjoy the time with that nice fuzzy snow while you can, because it feels like we're going to have a little short of a winter season this time around. Back to you guys in the studio, that's all I got for you.
Thank you, Zach. Pretty soon we're going to say goodbye to Uber and hello to a new ride-sharing service. Waymo is Google's new driverless taxi, which will be app-based, similar to Uber and Lyft. The service will be available to the public first in Phoenix later this year.
Next, Jessica is going to give us the latest scoop on the hottest topics that are trending now. Take it away, Jessica.
Thanks, guys. What's up, everyone? I'm Jessica, and I'm catching you up on everything that's trending right now. This past weekend was the 2018 NBA All-Star Weekend, where the best of the best competed at Staples Center. Not only the best athletes made their appearance, but some A-list celebrities also showed up. Justin Bieber made another appearance in the celebrity game, and Quavo took home the trophy as the MVP. Cardi B really stole the show as she showed off her moves to her own song, Bartier Cardi. While she was jamming out, the rest of the stadium, along with the Gram and Twitter sphere, were blowing up over someone else's performance that night, and it's not very positive. Girl, I feel you, but Fergie Ferg, she brought her pipes for the national anthem, but it sounds like they may be in some dire need of some WD-40. Check out this snippet from her performance. Draymond Green, Jimmy Kimmel, and Steph Curry were among many others that couldn't help but blurt out a few laughs. Some tweets included one by Jonah Platt, which read, quote, "This is way more disrespectful to the anthem." Steph Curry later went on Twitter during the actual game and liked a tweet that read, quote, "Fergie with the worst rendition ever," end quote. Yeah, all those years we thought the Black Eyed Peas were holding you back from your career, but now we find ourselves feeling so sorry for will.i.am and the rest of the gang. Anyway, I'm sure it'll blow over soon, just like you always taught us, Fergie. Big girls don't cry, right? But now on to our next trending topic. It's this new-ish trivia app called HQ. What does HQ stand for? Nobody knows. Where's HQ based out of? Nobody knows. Who's the host of HQ? Nobody knows. Well, actually, we do know that one.
I am the host with the Hollow French Toast, the Trap Trebek, Scott Rogowski, host of HQ Trivia.
HQ is a live trivia show on every day at 12 and 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time and typically gives away $2,500 to split between all of the winners, but occasionally we'll give away up to $25,000, you guys. My excitement is just coming out thinking about it, even though I was knocked out on question 3 last night, but I don't want to talk about it. That's another story. This app is so big that Ellen even had a winner on her show. Ellen, what? Check out this reaction of Lauren May as she won HQ. I feel you, girl. $11.30 is like a burrito from Chipotle with a side of guac and chips. Yeah, you typically don't win large amounts from this game show, but it's the satisfaction of competing against millions around the world and being able to say that you were one of the winners of this modern day Jeopardy. Well, that's all for me. It's almost 6 o'clock, which means I've got to start adding to my collection of useless knowledge for HQ. Back to you guys.
With the Winter Olympics closely coming to an end, we have the latest update on your favorite Olympians.
We also have the latest on the blockbuster hit Black Panther and how fans can possibly travel to the nation of Wakanda.
Hey, look, it's those guys.
What's up? What's happening today?
Let's hit those pearly whites, man.
Yeah! The boys, check it out. Stand up to my terrorists, don't compare us. Go!
Ooh, cute.
Are you good to drive?
I'm fine.
Hey girl, what's up? What's the name? What's good? What's up?
How many did you have?
I should be fine.
You should be.
Sir, go and step out of the vehicle for me.
Yes, sir.
See ya, buddy. Today, Sean's got a hearing. We'll see how it goes. Good luck. So turns out, buzz driving and drunk driving, they're the same thing, and it costs around $10,000. So not worth it.
Now, Amanda Palacios will bring you the latest in the sports world, from Titan baseball to the Winter Olympics and the unforgettable NBA All-Star Game.
Hi everyone, the CSUF baseball team stepped up to the plate on Tuesday and took on the University of Nevada in their first home opener of the season. But just like the freezing weather, the Titans' bats were icy cold and they were unable to get on base. Let's take a look at some highlights.
Titan baseball had an unlucky streak against Stanford last weekend, but they had high hopes for a win going into their first game against Nevada. Unfortunately, they were unable to muster up enough strength, and Nevada defeated the Titans 2-0. In the top of the first, Nevada has an opportunity to steal second, and he is safe. The runner on third also attempts to steal home, but he is run down by the catcher. Bottom of the first, and Tyler Lash has an opportunity to put the Titans in the lead, but the hit goes straight to the shortstop and he is out at first. Titans had many more scoring opportunities, but their hits just weren't enough to get them on base. Meanwhile, Nevada was able to put the ball on target and scored against the Titans in the top of the 7th and 9th inning. Titans will move on to play against Houston this Friday at Goodwin Field. Coach Vanderhook said the Titans need to improve on their hitting skills against Houston if they want to start winning games.
I'm sure the Titans will fix those changes and step up their game against Houston. And now we have reporter Alyssa Ruiz to update us on the latest news happening at the Pyeongchang Olympics.
As the 23rd Olympic Winter Games are nearing the end in Pyeongchang, the athletes continue to represent their countries the best way they know how. On Saturday, John Henry Kruger from the United States made his Olympic debut by winning a silver medal in the men's 1,000-meter final. This was the country's first medal in individual speed skating since 2010. As the race came to a close finish, a crash left only 2 skaters remaining, Kruger and the gold medalist Samuel Girard of Canada. On Sunday, the men's 15-kilometer mass start ended in the most jaw-dropping finish these Olympic Games have seen. The biathlon ended in a lunge-off, resulting in Martin Fourcade of France to take home the gold by the tip of his ski. Also on Sunday, Team USA's women's hockey team beat Finland 5-0. That win will lead them to play for the gold against Canada. The two teams have played each other for the gold 4 times in Winter Olympic Games history, the most recent times being in the 2014 and 2010 games where Canada defeated the United States. The anticipated rematch takes place tonight. On Monday, the world watched Tessa Virtue and Scott Moyer of Canada take home the gold in ice dancing, becoming the most decorated figure skaters in Olympic history. Team USA's sibling duo Maya and Alex Shibutani took home the bronze. On Tuesday, Olympic veteran and gold medalist Lindsey Vonn took home the bronze in alpine skiing in what she said would be her last Olympic Games.
It's sad. This is my last. I don't know. I wish I could keep going, you know? I have so much fun. I love what I do. My body just probably can't take another 4 years, but I don't know. I'm proud.
As Norway continues to stay at the top of the medal count list with a total of 33 medals, the United States sits in 5th place with 16 medals. After nearly 2 straight weeks of competition, the Games will come to an end on Friday with a traditional closing ceremony. For OC News, I'm Alyssa Ruiz.
In national sports news, Team LeBron scored their way to the top against the Team Steph in NBA All-Star Game. The league decided to spice things up a bit by changing up the teams. Yes, that's right. It's the first time in history that the teams weren't divided into the Eastern and Western Conference. LeBron James and Steph Curry drafted their own teams, which resulted in an exciting, intense, high-scoring game. But in the end, Team LeBron walked away with the victory and defeated Team Steph 148-145. But the NBA players weren't the only talked about stars of the game. That's right, we're talking about her again, because she's that important. All eyes, or should I say all ears, were on the pop singer Fergie, who sang, or at least tried to sing, the national anthem during the All-Star Game halftime show. The Fergalicious singer put her own spin on the Star-Spangled Banner, and let's just say many people were confused and the internet is still buzzing. But that's the latest in the sports world. Back to you.
Disneyland park-goers have a lot to look forward to in the next coming months. Disney has announced expansion in Disneyland Tokyo and both of its California theme parks. Construction continues for Star Wars Land coming to Disneyland in 2019. Disneyland will get a new Pixar-themed fireworks show, and the Pixar Play Parade, which was previously California Adventure's Afternoon Parade, will now move to Disneyland's California Adventure. Paradise Pier will be transformed into Pixar Pier with a new look and more characters from Pixar films, including Incredibles, Inside Out, and Toy Story. And at the D23 Expo, Disney also announced that Spider-Man and the Avengers will join what Disney is now describing as a completely immersive superhero universe at California Adventure. Now, our reporter Miri Sonoda is live at Tokyo Disney to give us an inside look.
Konnichiwa. Hello everyone. Guess where I'm at? I'm at Tokyo Disney Sea. Tokyo Disney Sea is one of 2 Tokyo Disney theme parks and had over 30 million visitors in 2016. Today I will reveal 4 secret tips to enjoy Tokyo Disney Sea more, so let's check it out. Popcorn, and popcorn. First, Disney Sea has 8 different flavors of popcorn. Among herb tomato, milk chocolate, garlic shrimp, and other unusual flavors, caramel popcorn is the most popular flavor that everyone lines up for. Second, from characters' ears to whole costumes, matching outfit is always a trend among friends and couples. While some people wear school uniforms, others wear costumes from Disney characters. Third, Disney Sea is photogenic. There are many photogenic spots with different themes in 7 areas inside of the park, like Aladdin or Little Mermaid. One of the popular techniques for Instagram is holding a doorknob. This makes them look like they're wandering into a Disney story. Fourth, pay attention to the cast. For example, janitors does more than cleaning the park.
Congratulations!
You never know when and where you bump into them, so don't miss small hints they make. How were the tips about Disney Sea? These little tips can make your adventure more than special.
Our entertainment reporter Cheryl Posadas was at the NBA All-Star Game this weekend and is back with some juicy details. Cheryl, tell us what happened.
Thank you, ladies. I'm Cheryl Posadas, and this weekend I got the opportunity to be amongst A-list celebs such as Beyonce and her daughter Blue Ivy, who seems to get her fashion sense from her mama. We also have the latest news on how Will Smith is taking over social media and the uprise of an unofficial Disney princess. Let's take a look. Over the weekend, Queen Bee and Blue Ivy rocked the basketball court during the NBA All-Star Game. Like always, Beyonce looked stunning with a brown hoodie, a yellow skirt, and her clear laced-up boots. But the girl who stole the show, once again, is Blue. With a pair of distressed jeans, a casual black tee, a Givenchy leather jacket valued at $1,500, a blue Louis Vuitton purse valued at $1,800, and a kid's backpack by Karl Lagerfeld valued at $92, because a girl can never have too many bags. Dads on Instagram? At least not mine. But Will Smith has taken Instagram to a whole nother level. On Monday, Smith showed his appreciation and explained how he got 10 million followers in just 2 months.
And how to hold a little white baby. My first official post was to Justin Timberlake. He was kind of nice to shout me out for joining the gram. I showed him my nipple. Probably should have shaved it for flames.
The video highlights some of his most iconic Instagram posts, like the recreation of his son's icon music video, and sweet things about his wife. Congrats, Will Smith, and if you aren't following him by now, you are definitely missing out.
Shouted out Run DMC, Jay-Z, B, choked out Jeff, hit 10 million followers on the gram.
The film Black Panther is finally in theaters, and Wakanda's princess Shuri, who is played by Letitia Wright, is taking the spotlight. Shuri is the genius behind some of Wakanda's most advanced technology and the creator of Black Panther's suits and gadgets, made from the mythical, nearly indestructible metal known as vibranium. Wright tells USA Today, quote, "I've never really seen a character like that in a script before. I never saw a young black girl being interested in engineering, or science, or math, or wanting to heal people. I saw lots of stereotypes, and that's clearly the difference in why I really wanted to play the part." End quote. Fans have gone on Twitter to give Shuri an unofficial title of being their new Disney princess. Marvel's new movie is making box office history with $280 million opening weekend. Reporter Mia Egriavdor has the review on Black Panther.
Don't freeze. I never freeze.
Marvel's Black Panther is breaking the mold for superhero movies. It's unlike anything we've seen and is a signal that the Marvel Cinematic Universe is taking a step towards the future.
We are home.
The movie picks up right after the events of Captain America's Civil War, with T'Challa, or Black Panther, played by Chadwick Boseman, heading back to his home in Wakanda, Africa to take over the throne. Wakanda is a secret country hidden away with technology far more advanced than the rest of the world. The one who wants to expose it is Eric Killmonger, played by Michael B. Jordan.
I lived my entire life waiting for this moment.
See, it's hard to hate him because of Jordan's charismatic charm that shines through even though he's playing the antagonist. Killmonger is one of the most complex and interesting villains Marvel has had. You kind of see his point in all this. He wants to use the technology to right the wrongs in the outside world. Does that mean killing people in the process? Well, sure, but whatever gets the job done, right? Black Panther is able to take a look at identity in a way unlike the previous Marvel movies. What does the Black Panther owe to the world who enslaved their own people or colonized their own country? It's an interesting take, one that Marvel hasn't been able to do since most of their superheroes are white and American. But let's talk about the real heroes in this movie, the women. Wakanda's army is called the Dora Milaje, which is made up of all women. Basically, they're Marvel's answers to DC's Amazonians and Wonder Woman, but with cannon blaster spears. The backdrop is a visual mix of old world and futuristic feels to the city. You'd think the two might clash, but it actually works well thanks to the realism brought into the design. Black Panther is a game changer for Marvel. It's thought-provoking, visually stunning, and an all-around good time. Superheroes are meant to be the best of us and are now starting to represent all of us. So go out and see Black Panther!
And that's all for entertainment news. Back to you, ladies.
If you saw Marvel's Black Panther over the weekend, you probably want to take a trip to the Kingdom of Wakanda now. Well, you're in luck because the Atlanta International Airport is offering flights to the fictional kingdom. They jokingly posted on Twitter a gate monitor showing a departing flight to Wakanda. The airport's tweet quickly became popular after the post. I know I want to go to Wakanda. Like, have you seen the movie at all?
I haven't seen it yet, but everyone I know has, so I'm probably going to have to go now.
It's really good.
Well, that's all we have for tonight's episode of OC News.
Remember, you can be a part of the conversation by showing us some love on all of our social media platforms at OC News CSUF.
OC News is sponsored in part by Univision Communications, Southwest Airlines, and Casanova McCann.